We spend a lot of time at Harper Slade focusing on metaphors as a way of trying to teach concepts around DEI and specifically racial equity. One such metaphor that we use liberally is the garden, a garden. In fact, we have a signature DEI immersive training experience, aptly named the garden. Um, and it is because the garden connotes joy and peace and tranquility, none of which tend to be associated with the work of DEI. That's one reason. The second reason is that from a metaphorical standpoint, it is quite profound if we think about how we have come to frame the human condition. So in our training, we talk about flowers as having started from different places in life, each with very different backgrounds. Some start as seeds, some start as bulbs, some are planted elsewhere and replanted into a new garden, but they all have their own beauty and bounty, and they're incredibly prolific and amazing in their own right, beautiful in their own right, forthright in their own right. And when they come together in this panoply of a garden, they become even more beautiful and potent. But they are still very unique, and they have their own unique needs and idiosyncrasies and stories. And then you've got the soil in which the flowers are planted. And the soil must be tilled and amended and fertilized and cultivated in a way to assure that all flowers thrive. And it is sometimes the case that we take flowers and put them in gardens that were never intended for them, that never contemplated their unique needs and where they have come from and what it would take for them to flourish. And then the gardener must be ever vigilant to assure that he or she understands everything about those flowers and that soil. So in our training, the flowers, of course, represent the people in your organization. The soil is the work environment, and the gardeners are the architects of equity. They are the leaders, the managers, the folks that have influence over how the work experience unfolds. And so sometimes it's the case that we grow up as marigolds, and our whole entire life is marigold rooted. We know everything about marigolds, what they eat, how they walk, talk, how they celebrate, how they show joy and laughter and pain and anguish. We've been accustomed to the marigold way. We went to Boy and Girl Scout troop meetings with marigolds. We went to dinner parties with marigolds. Our parents were marigolds. They grew up around marigolds. And then we might have had an episodic experience every now and again with a tulip or a daisy, but not elongated and regular experience with these different flowers. We know a little bit about them, but not much. And now we're spat out into one of these corporations, and we are a marigold leader called to manage and lead tulips and daisies. And our tendency would be to take those tulips and daisies and presume for them the same needs, wants, desires, cadence, rituals, social norms that we would for marigolds. And we're going to water those tulips and daisies like marigolds, and we're going to fertilize them like marigolds, and we're going to make sure that they have the same sunlight as marigolds do. And if they don't flourish, then we presume that something is awry with those tulips and daisies. They need a new manager, or maybe a mentor. Something is awry. And if they continue to flounder, then they become subject to discipline and correction. And it is hard for us as marigolds to contemplate that we might be the issue, that our presumptions and our expectations, because they're so rooted in marigold ways, are in fact the challenge, not the tulip and not the daisy. That's why our training course called The Garden is so powerful. It's powerful, and it's suitable for organizations, irrespective of industry, and for employees at all levels. individual contributor, all the way up to your board of directors. So check out the garden, it's on sale. Happy to work with you. Very excited to have you to be a part of our garden experience. All the best.